Great and beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 290 edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I'll tell you that global stock market, as we speak, open on a positive note, despite most of the market seem to be what in a mixed trend at this hour. The good thing is that the mixed macroeconomic data emanating from different climate or country are influencing market players' positive sentiment. At the same time, also driving the continued volatility we have seen so far in the market. It does mean that the market globally is also reflecting these numbers that are hitting the market. And I mean numbers, these are what macroeconomic data that are influencing activities which all eyes are on as regard the what will be the next action of the central banks of this world, knowing that inflation is a canker one that all the central banks in the world want to address so that the economy can breathe out and find a direction. Yes, we know that the geopolitical tension in most of the advanced countries, especially Ukraine and Russia, is also influencing a lot of things. That's why prices of goods continue to go in the north direction. But it's a good news for most of the countries across the world that we are seeing a slowdown in inflation. Despite back home, they were seeing the last figure released for the month of June, May was also, an up, was also looking at up, moving to the northward in Nigeria here. But I believe that there's no cause for alarm as investors in this climate are also reviewing what the first trading session of the second half of the year. I'll tell you, market at this time, all have look at what has happened in the first half of the year. We've seen that both matured economy will see that most of them also close in the green, despite what is happening in Ukraine. Don't forget that during the time of COVID-19, we saw how market across the globe suffer losses, rebounded, and since then we are seeing, despite what is happening in Ukraine, driving most market up and down, we are seeing stability coming back to different economy. As we speak now, if you look at what is happening in Asia, as we speak now is still in green, despite some of the indices in that market in that zone are still missed. You can see that the green position in Asia is as a result of what the slowdown that we saw in US inflation data that was released. Despite the missed factory data that's also emanating from China, these indicators are telling us that this economy and also this zone are looking at what will be next for what for China, knowing that the manufacturing sector of China it look a bit resilient, while other sectors are still backward in terms of influence of COVID-19. Despite they have lifted the restriction, only the manufacturing sector is breathing out and some service sector, but most of the sector are still so dosite as we speak now in the China economy. But that notwithstanding, I've seen that Japan is still coming back powerfully to 30 years, 33 years high. With this rebound that was also during the end of the quarter or end of the half year, kind of movement from the dressing across the globe. You know that it goes across not only Nigeria, but this morning it's good that these markets are looking up. European market is not left behind. Also, that market is missed as we speak now. The zone also the purchasing manager index for that zone was missed against the expectation. This also the zone also recording almost 3 years pandemic low in that zone, and that is that you can see that Germany, other UK, France, you can see that activities there's also showing that what is happening in Ukraine and Russia is not leaving this zone untouched. They are feeling the heat, and you can see that the economic activities in this zone are still so slowing down as reviewed by the purchasing manager index for this world. All eyes are on what we Fed will be doing in coming meeting. Yes, US market is also missed at this hour, but the good thing is that we are seeing that in the US market or mature market, we are seeing new launch of products coming from big companies like Tesla, Apple, and why the what we call a mega merger agreement that is looming in US is between Microsoft and one active company again in the same line. These are the things that driving market in that direction, and why the oil sector also oil prices are also not left behind. Oil has continued to oscillate. Even as we speak now, it's a choppy movement we are seeing the commodity market in terms of oil price because of what is happening in Ukraine, and also fear of a rate hike is also impacting that oil price. Knowing that purchasing power of people as rate also goes up, it's going to affect dollar and all that. But one thing that when dollar is weak, it helps also commodity market to look up. We can see that what is happening now, there's a what we call portfolio reshuffling or rebalancing. You can see activities now in cryptocurrency has improved, especially Bitcoin. You have seen that other commodity market, other boards, people are trying to balance their portfolio, not only in Nigeria, across the globe. But come back to see what is happening in Africa. For me, Africa has movement is made why NGS here has sustained a good momentum after breaking out the 60,000 psychological line. You can see that the market is catching fire even this morning. For me, it's a good one at this hour. This tells that our market is going somewhere, and that's why the chart has been displayed now. As you are looking at the chart, you can see that the chart is telling you that something is happening in the market after it tested the 60,000, no 442.12. It pulled back, market saturated a little before we now saw the current breakout, and that's why I tell investor or trader that you must watch your chart at any given time to see where the market is going. I'll come to the chart, but let's look at the other information before we go to the chart as we speak. Yes, if you look at what is happening in the market now, we want to see the market here in Nigeria. We want to look at what the activities in the market live now. We are seeing that the all share index has crossed also 61 on another line. It's showing at 61,459.71 no basic point, up by 491.85. That's about 0.76%, which is almost 0.8% want to put it there. I will tell you this is a good move for the market this morning. Market is already having recording a very strong what we call a positive market sentiment, or call it either market breadth, positive market breadth. This we're having a 46 stocks as at the green light or gainers, we call it. We have a 7 just what on the loser chart. I tell you that more buyers are in the market now. Yes, we expect to see a mixed trend this week, but after the way the week is starting today, say that even when end of the quarter and end of half year and end of the month of June, we call with the dressing and push market. I can see that more prices are also hitting new roof, new is high because of what buy interest, and also the expectation of government policy to drive market. As all eyes are still on what on the appointment list, and also for it to know who will be our economy managers in the next 4 years or the next 2 years. These are the things that drive market expectation, especially knowing that the earning season is around the corner. Like I tell you that the major the major thing that price feed on is earnings. All this what we are seeing, other news, policy statement, implementation of policy, they are good. But at the end of the day, how does this policy impact the financials of this company? And that financial company will see what will drive better payment of dividend and also impact price. That's why all eyes on what on the actual result that we expect to start hitting the market any moment from second week of July. That means next week, or the early filers, especially from those what I call a penny stock, the mortgage banks and the early filers recently now. It's possible that before end of this week we'll see either from Infinity, mortgage bank, or living trust, the mortgage bank. You see, these are the early filers also. But let's see how the market will. But for me, the market is very, very up, and you can see an active market, not a quiet market at all. Tells you that things happening in the NGS as we speak. Yes, if you look at the top gainers on NGS, we're having an internal oil leading the pack there, 10% up, followed by Japan, 10%. You can see life from eTransact, NACO, and what and Stele Bank. These are the top 5 gainers. We have about 46 of them. You can see both high and medium cap low in that gainers chart this hour. This is very, very nice for the market. Like I always say, don't fall in love in an up market. Once you have your plan, you are trading, your entry strategy, your exit strategy, the price you enter and the price you want to exit in terms of profit. Yes, and also we have discussed in this platform that taking profit does not mean that you are selling down all your position. It means to sell down and take profit. I mean, you understand that in case market pull back, you have the fund to buy more, or you want to move to another stock. That's why you don't remain in stock that's good, because it's going one the party is over in that stock or the market, it becomes difficult for you to sell. Then that's why you must apply this take profit and also trade your plan as a trader or investor at any time in the market. It's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. I was saying now, if you look at the flip side, which is the loser side, we're seeing the Nimet dominating or leading in that category, followed by CNI leasing, International Brewing, Royal Exchange, and Carvaton. These are the one, and also I only just seven losers and it's just five. I can tell you that the market is really bullish this morning again. But in terms of volume, like I tell you that even we are looking at individual stock or the market generally, want to look at what is the volume, the momentum, and these are part of what we discussed in the master class. Yeah, for those that attended the master class, I will say thank you that are here for making it with us, and I believe that most of the stocks were discussed. You can see them also on the radar what they are doing, and also those that miss it have opportunity again to prepare for what the Q4 master class that's coming in October, hopefully by God grace. I'll say thank you again for all the facilitator and the attendees for for over the weekend for being with us. Yes, in terms of volume, as I was saying, volume is very, very important because the volume and momentum tell you where the price is going. That is why you must look at your momentum and the price and see is price moving in the way of momentum or volume, or there is divergence between volume and what and price action. As we speak now, the top trade in terms of volume are UBA, you can see Sterling Bank there, and the Access Corp, Fidelity, and Omatech. You can see that even the low cap stock, the Kobo stock we were saying before, they are all coming up now because the market is also looking up. And it is that this is a bull market. In a bull market, both the ugly and the beautiful all will start looking up. But the good thing is that you need to be very careful because when the ugly and the good are looking up, when there's any movement in the market, the ugly will fall like pack of salt, while those that have fundamental will also fight to stabilize before that's why if you are trading the market now, you can miss both those the ugly or the low cap stocks and the market, but you need to balance your portfolio with defensive stocks, those stocks that have growth value, those that have these are the things you should do at this time. Don't just say because the market is going up. Don't forget that our market is also a one-way market. The way it goes up, that's the way what it will come down. And that's why practicing your profit taking is very, very necessary and key in this market as we speak. Yes, before we go to the chart again, let's finally look at the few companies that release their audited account, unaudited and audited account to the market over the weekend. And I will start from PZ that released the unaudited account for the month ended or for financial year ended May 2023. I'll tell you this number that I mighted from PZ was impressive, very, very impressive. And don't be carried away when I mean impressive. You can see also the impact of assets sold or kind of extra item in the result or in the profit and loss account that also push the bottom line of PZ. And PZ last year had about 1 naira 61 kobo, but I'm still coming to the number, and they paid you 1 naira 1 kobo, and you know what the percentage of it. And the same last year, 2022, they also sold their assets. This time we are seeing also double the profit of what they did last year, 6.4 billion to almost 15.35 billion. With also the same they made assets sold about 6 million also was raked into the company's profit and loss account as what as extra income that enter. That also a boost to the company earnings to almost 3 naira 87 kobo. What does that tell you? If when they made 1 naira 12 kobo, they pay 1 naira 1 kobo out. At this point, they are making 3 naira 87 kobo. What are you expecting? For me, I'm expecting that nothing less than 1 naira 50 kobo or even 2 naira is coming out from this company for what for this company. And that you can see that market also appreciating this impressive number. And don't forget this also in a consumer sector, knowing that what is happening in the economy in terms of inflation and also cost of especially with the recent unification of exchange rate. You can see that most manufacturing companies are already complaining because cost of importation has increased. That means you as a trader or investor, you need to look at all this. As I said, as a trader or investor, you don't invest or trade and go to sleep. You watch the market, look at the trend in the market and how to move from. That's why sectoral rotation in investment will continue. Whether there is any season or not, you need to move from one sector to other or one stock to that so that at the end of the day, you'll be ahead of the market. Yes, come to PZ number. We want to start looking at the revenue. We move from 100.04 billion to 113.83 billion, representing 14% up, not up to our standard and Investdata. I said for you to say that a company earnings is outstanding, the top line must be what? Must be 15% plus for top line. But for bottom line, I'll tell you, it surpassed our criterion because it moved from 6.4 billion to 15.35 billion. That's about 140 percent of our own is 20% plus. You can see it's also, and if you look at the earning per share, like I said earlier, from 1 naira 61 kobo to 3.87%. You can see this is a good growth, and this also tell you that shareholders of these companies will expect good dividend, knowing that it is their practice that they pay a good dividend out from their earnings. I told you what happened last year when they earned what 1 naira 61 kobo. They paid also 1 naira 1 kobo from there. Now they have earned almost 3 naira 87. You know what you expect from there. But if you look at the profit margin, and that will tell you the impact of cost, even when the company has almost above 100 billion, you can see that the profit margin for the year to ended 2023 is at 13.49%. Yes, above 10%, which is good, compared to 6.4% in 2022. Good one. But if you go back and look at the company cash flow for this period that ended in May, I will tell you that we're seeing a drop in the operating cash flow of PZ from 22.92 billion in 2022 to 17.41 billion in this current year that we are watching. That means you need to say, yes, for me, we'll join this rally. That's why you need to understand what the market is going, and don't stay put, because I tell you, stocks are not what that you want to hold. Once you see that things that attracted into that company are still intact, but once you see them, they will start feeling that you also have to leave that position. But for now, I'll tell you that on the strength of this number, this is a good one, and people are looking at it, and that's why the price is still looking up until they announce their final dividend. And you see any dividend around the 2 naira, like I said, 2 naira 220 or 2 naira 10 kobo is possible on the strength of what, on the performance of the company. But because also the environment where they are operating, you can't tell what will happen in terms of people. That's why, as a good investor or trader, you should know what to do right now as we speak. Yes, we want to quickly look at others match account before we go to the chart live to look at. Let's quickly look at the result that came from Triple G. Triple G released the audited account for the period ended March 31st. This audited account, the turnover for Triple J moved from 151 billion to to 800 to 8 sorry 1.50 1.51 billion to what to 8 8.18 billion, representing about 111% in the green. And the PAT also moved from 66.24 million to 122.41 million. Again, that's about 86% in the green. For me, this is a good one, but there's no dividend as we speak now from Triple G. EPS stood at 25 kobo against 13 kobo in 2022, while the profit margin also for me is very, very low. It shows the high cost of what related in printing and other business. The profit margin is just 3.77 against 4.64 in 2022. This tells you that cost of operation is also what we look at. And other one that is there is University Press. University Press also little relocate the market, but for University Press, I'll tell you this is a mixed number, or even for me below market expectation. We're seeing a decline on the top line and the bottom line from University Press. We saw that the number that were released, they recorded 2.17 billion against 2.31 billion in 2022. That's about negative 6.1, down by what? By 6.1%. The same also or the PAT. PAT also went down, or slide also down to red from 207.49 million in 2022 to 142.28 million in 2023, representing 34% in the red. And this also translates to 33 kobo earning per share against 48% posted in 2022. And this company dividend for the period also declined. Funny that you can see, what is the one thing in investment. Despite they pay 5 kobo when they made money, now that their earnings declining, they grow their dividend from 5 kobo also to 10 kobo dividend for the period. And while the profit margin remain also low, below 10%, you can see 6.45% for 2023 against 9.09% in 2022. And that also leads us to Learn Africa also audited account, the same match account as we discussed, and expected that as at the last trading day of June, all these numbers should be the market. We can see that this one are compliant by keeping to what to the post listing requirement of the NSE. For Learn Africa, the turnover also moved from 3.7 billion to 3.4. Sorry, the slide. Sorry for me. No, we saw a slide from 3.7 to 3.4, 3.47 billion. That about just negative 6% down, and PAT was flat from 401.58 to 429.53 million, 7% up in the green. But the good thing is that if you look at the corporate action from this company, very impressive. They are compared to University Press. If you look at the P ratio for South Africa, from 52 kobo to what to 56 kobo for the period, and that also having a 12.29 in terms of a profit margin against 10.81 profit margin in 2022, and dividend moved from 15 kobo to what to 25 kobo for the period, which is also for me it's not a bad one for encouraging, very very encouraging for me. But if you also look at Northern Nigeria following me, with all the dividend, with all the profit they made, the dividend payout compared to the price was still not too attractive. But still, we're seeing that the market is still looking at that stock as we speak now. The gross earnings, sorry, the revenue moved from 15.23 billion to 16.16 billion. Yes, marginally up by 6.11%, while the profit after tax was up significantly from 80.67 million to 272.82 million, representing 200 and above 200%, 238% in the grade. Fine, and that translates to 1 naira 53 kobo against 45 kobo posted in 2022. And I will tell you that the profit margin, you can see the cost of production for manufacturing sector. The profit margin for the whole year is just 1.67, despite that the share in issue is relatively low. See, I can see that the price is stable. You can see the important of looking at share holding structure and share in issue. Despite this payout of still I sell almost 13 naira, paying announcing dividend of 35 kobo. See, the price is still stable at that price. To tell you that also the impact of what positive sentiment in the market, also seeing that dividend of 35 kobo against 25 kobo they paid the previous year. These are the numbers you can consider at this hour, and I believe I'll give you an insight how this number look like for investors that are dividend income investor, that the ones that are good dividend here. For me, I'll say look at Learn Africa in terms of with the price, because you have to look at what the dividend yield for these companies before you jump in. Is very very important. Now that also we are seeing that general market is going up, it's time for traders in the market or investors to also look at what is the yield from the equity market compared to other in other assets the market for investment will do. This is what will also guide us to know exactly what to do when it comes to what investing in them. On the strength of these numbers, investors should know what to do. Those are looking for dividend income. Why traders like me should look at those stocks that are yet to move, looking at what they are still high and low. Those that are above they are still high, look at the next, because I tell you with your chart, you can see as far as going to 2008 and see how far this company perform and why the numbers are moving now. Is it up or down? These are the things that will guide you. You know, to panic even when the market is at this move. People are asking, should they start selling everything and say no, you take profit and also stay the market and watch. It's a trend, it's a good trend for us all to take advantage of in this market now. It's not a time for us to be running. But all I said that don't be greedy, know exactly when to take profit and when not also to take position. That's why you need to use your stop loss, use your profit margin. At the same time, for those that are looking at charts, as we're going to start now, you must apply your resistance level and your support level, and also look at channels to see where they come, because there are different strategies you use for different market. And now that we're seeing market trending up, your MACD is very, very key at this point. Your resistance level is very key. Your support level, the breakout is. These are the things that you're looking at the market is at this dimension. Because I tell you, as the trading environment is changing, you need to change your strategy, and how you need to chart also will change, because we are seeing a lot of factors combining to this positive sentiment, so that you won't be caught in the web. Because I tell you, our market is always a one-way market. When it goes up, the way it comes down. But those that understand know when to take profit and watch and see when they pull back, they come back again. These are the how to trade the market as we speak. Coming back to the chart now, we are back on the chart. If you look at the chart already, like I told you before you do it on the chart, what is the direction of the chart? And the chart then we are seeing a positive uptrend in the chart. Now you can see market is making higher highs. Not before, when market was, you are seeing market maybe was lower lows. Since then, market turn up. You can see this is a higher high we are seeing now. No, why I can see now uptrend, no, not lower lows now. That means the market is another dimension entirely. You also want to change your strategy. Even when you want to draw your chart, your trend lines here. You want to put your trend line. You want to draw your trend line to see where how far this market. You can also go this way and see it's still an uptrend. If you want to go this way to see an uptrend because the market, the share index is above what? It's above the trend line. And so there's an uptrend too. You need to understand all this as a trader using chart. You can also take this also want to take from here. Want to look at from this point to see it's an uptrend. You can see, if it depends what you want to draw at this point now. Get it here. Sorry. Okay, you can see what the trend, what it's saying now. For no, you can equally look exactly at uptrend. You can see this one down because if you want to trade, you must come up here. If you want to withdraw, take down up here. Then that the market is trending up, and you can see what happened. The last week, you can see uptrend, up here. What we are seeing up now, market is holding somewhere, toward to the 2008, 65 basic point. I tell you that is where the market is going. This is the month of July, and we're expecting earnings to come. The strength of earnings will also add more momentum to this market. That means we need to also be very careful and also don't be carried away with the up market and exactly know how to take profit. Why I said is that yes, it's a good moment for the market, but we need to also understand what is happening as investor or trader. Quick one, let's call our indicator so that we can look at it together. And move from here to call the volume. Yeah. I see volume already in the market. Let's volume the chart. Then let's go for our stochastic oscillator. Let's see what is doing. I want to look at it. Then I want to call MACD up now. MACD, I want to call MACD up. Sorry, not MACD. MACD now was average moving average exponential. Yes, turn it to 8 as usual in this class. That is our resistance and support level that we need for this discussion. So let me close one of these. One of these should go. Okay, you can see the volume here. You can see the stochastic oscillator. You can see that when the market pulled back here, you saw how the momentum went down, but now you can see that momentum is building, and that is also corresponding with, like I said, there's what we call convergent, not divergent again. It's what we call a bullish one, a bullish divergent. If you want to use that language, it's coming up, and volume is also improving. For me, it's a good one. But the good is that look at our T line. T line has remained as a support level. I tell you that when you see T line as a support level, say that momentum in the market is still very strong. And we see that what as on top of the index, I say resistance, say that the market is weak, but now it's the support level now. It's a strong momentum in the market as we speak. But we want to look at different time frame to know what is happening exactly in the market. We'll start from, you can look at the 5 minute chart to see what the market is on 5 minute chart. Because this is a live class, you can see market is still very, very strong. But if you look at our momentum indicator, there's a little sign here you need to watch, but we need to confirm at the end of the day. But I tell you, this is not a too good sign in terms of momentum. But the good thing is that the index is still above the T line. That is the good thing in that regard that you need to know. Let's look at also a 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart is telling you that momentum in the market is strong. You can see that volume is also very strong here that you need to also look at, and see the momentum was ready. We look at what 15 minutes chart. It's very important for me. Let's quickly look at what 15 minutes. We'll check 5 minutes. 15 minutes chart started that there is also a sign of weakness here. You can see where the market is going. If you look at it, looking down, profit taking, which I believe it will be in some stock, but it's not more this one because we are seeing more of buyers in the market. For some stocks, as well as some profit taking already, because of the new price we are seeing. This is a good one, 15 minutes chart. Finally, look at the day chart which we have seen before. You can see that it's looking good. But let's look at 2 or 3 stocks before our time is far spent. I know that the market today is very interesting, and as we are looking at it, we also know exactly what we are doing in the market. Let's quickly look at those stocks that are trending. Would they still have strength to go far? Especially the new one that just starting. Let's look at the one that just started. Transact. It's a new stock that just start coming up now. Let's see. Does it ask that it takes what is the momentum like to see how far it will go? Look at what is happening. Transact. Transact, you can see on the chart here, on a day chart, you can see that the price action is above the T line. On a strong momentum, you can see now we're seeing almost a new price now. And you can see it continues to go up. We want to also keep our eyes on this stock, but look at the 1 hour chart for Transact. Yes, 1 hour chart, you can see where it is now, almost at 7 naira. You can see there's already a breakout. You can see it here above the T line, and you can see that momentum is also confirming up. The volume is just slightly up. You can see that it's just right above the black line. But I tell you also keep your eyes on the stock. Let's look at the 15 minutes chart for the stock. 15 minutes chart said that there's still momentum here. You cannot see sign of selling already at all. There's no sign of selling in this stock. You can see that momentum is very strong. I mean, this stock is just picking. You can see the momentum for 15 minutes chart is still very strong for each transact. Let's look at 15 minutes chart too. 5 minutes chart. You can equally see it here. Momentum is high, and look at what the price is. Look at Entana. Entana has been on this rally, but let's see if it has strength to go far from here. Let's look at Entana as to speak. Entana has the strength to still go further. Look at Entana. It still has the what it takes to go up. The momentum is still very strong for Entana. We need to confirm here on the chart again. It's Entana on 5 minutes chart. You can see that there's already some of this 5 minutes chart. But the good thing is that it was already an improvement on the oversold region, oversold region again, looking at the momentum. But I said that this momentum, you don't need it the way you did the overbought, but I still have momentum. Momentum have slowed down in access on Entana for 15 minutes chart. But then look at other time frame. Look at 5 minutes, look at 15 minutes chart for Entana. You can see also the same pattern. The momentum has slowed down, but still trying to start picking up again. That's why I believe that those that are taking profit in the stock, it's right now they can now come back again. Look at the 1 hour chart for Entana. You can see where the momentum is telling us where the stock is now. For Entana, we need to look at it very well. You can see where it's coming down. Even at this point, we need to look at what is happening in that regard. Look at a day chart for the stock. This chart is wrong. Sorry, it has changed. Not Entana is changed. Another Entana entirely. Sorry, the chart has changed. What I'm saying. Oh, I click another Entana Nigeria. Sorry. Yeah. I was wondering. Good. Sorry, it was Entana on another country that international stock that we're looking at. Like I was surprised that the thing was going. There is still momentum in Entana. Even at a day chart, you can see where it is now. We break out almost around 23 towards 24. For me, the momentum is still strong on a day chart. But let's look at the 15-minute chart for Entana now. I can see Entana is still strong. Yes, sorry, it's still strong. I see that Entana is still strong. Entana is still strong. Yes, because of our time, I'll quickly just look at the NACO chart now so that we'll call it today. Continue our discussion tomorrow, hopefully, on this platform. Let's see what NACO is doing. NACO is doing. I tell you, NACO on 15 minutes chart, you can see that there were some sell off in this stock, profit taking, but a bounce back in the last. You can see it here, red here, green here. I can see good volume coming out. This is a good one, but we see volume, this kind of volume. I know that this is a 15-minute chart. We're coming to see, we can see new strength coming back to to NACO again, even at this price. Look at the let's look at a day chart for NACO. The day chart, you can see that the stock is still very, very strong on this. I can see the strength of the candles, and MACD, sorry, T line has remained what support here. Good volume, as I said earlier. I can see good volume going up, and I see that momentum is very, very strong. I see momentum is very, very strong on this level. For me, we see good momentum and a good volume. Price going up, something is happening in that stock. And as all eyes on the number, we see how far the stock will go. This is another Vata foam in the making, and another UCAP. But let's see how far this one will go. Nowhere Vata foam touch before it slow down. Let's see how far this one will go. On this note, I'll say thank you for your time, and also for those that make it over the weekend. I also want to appreciate you again. Say bye. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. See you tomorrow, hopefully by God's grace.
Yes, sir.